Yo, I'm Toycat, and today I'm obtaining the new saddles and using them on every rideable mob in real survival, because I want to buck the trend of just simply giving views of new features while using them in creative, and instead I want to show you what it will really be like to have a craftable saddle in Minecraft, as well as to get the new music disc in survival. My plan today is going to be very stable. It's going to consist of 4 parts, the first of which involves killing this cow right here, because there are 3 things that we need to get the earliest game saddle possible, and one of those is going to come from my good black and white friend over here. So yeah, we just need wood, leather, and iron, and then we've got all of the leather required already, and then we can make a saddle, which means all we need to do is chop down that tree over there, and we should be on the path to victory. This is the crazy thing about this update that, you know, in theory it just sounds like, oh, saddles are renewable and that's kind of cool, but in practice it means that on your first day, if you set your mind to it, in basically any terrain you should be able to get your hands on a saddle. Whereas previously, if you wanted a saddle on day 1, it's basically the same as saying, I want to win the lottery tomorrow. Sure, you might do it, and you could buy a bunch of lottery tickets to improve your odds, but unless you rig the lottery, or use a specific seed, it's probably not going to happen. And so, yeah, I do want to say that, you know, outside of, you know, the naysayers who do not necessarily believe that, you know, the default seeds are good, I think that this series, this tested series we're going on right here, is going to particularly use those, because this is the sunflower seeds preset, and I actually really like it. I've got myself wood, I've got myself leather, I've even got myself some horses. All I need now is a way to turn these things together, because obviously without wood we can't craft, but without iron we can't craft the thing that we want. So how are we going to find it? Well, as Minecraft, since the Caves and Cliffs update, you find iron more and more common as you go higher up, and so if we just look around these cave stone blocks, if we look around long enough, we should eventually, there we go, perfect, we should eventually be able to find some iron. So let's make ourselves a crafting table, let's make ourselves a wooden pickaxe, and now let's celebrate the fact that literally a couple of minutes after spawning, we're going to be able to ride a mob. This is the game-changing effect of it, and it's the reason why I think actually experiencing a feature in survival is so important, because this isn't a remarkable seed. I think it's literally quite the opposite. A sunflower plains is nice, but literally just pretty. There's no real extra value on top of that. But despite that, this nice seed with not too much more to offer has just gone and done precisely that right here. Oh, that's not what I want to do. That's don't make me extra crispy leather. Instead, let's go ahead and make some iron as we go and consider, are there still horses around for us to tame? As soon as I get the first iron, I can actually make the saddle, but is there a horse around still? Nope, he despawned on the way up here. So now the next challenge is, what do we do? Do we decide to make ourselves... Because there are 2 mobs that we're going to be taming in the early game. The first of which is the obvious one, the horse. No, I won't be going for the donkey, etc. And the mule. We're going to count all 3 of those mobs as the same. But the second easy early game mob is the pig, which is really interesting because a part of me says, what is the point in saddling the pig? Now that it's so easy to saddle a horse? But then I realized, actually, it's been easy to do that the whole time anyway. And so, yeah, by the way, look at this. My saddle has been crafted under 3 minutes into the world, which is very, very crazy. You'd have to have a preset seed, or like I said, have lottery level luck to have ended up that way. And I think that that is nutty that you can just start a world and decide you want to saddle something. It means that if you do have a big distance to the village, although I apparently don't, or you have a big distance until the structure you're looking for, like a woodland mansion, being able to ride a horse there and start that journey instantly actually is a very big deal. So I'm going to kill a few mobs using my stone pickaxe, because I do kind of want a second saddle, if I'm allowed one anyway, you know? Actually, I'm going to need to have at least 4 saddles today for the strider, the camel, everything else like that. And so let's make sure we get all of our level locked down early. Although, now that we've got a village here, we could get really lucky and find some leather in one of the chests, or if we feel like we don't need to be lucky, but other mobs need to be unlucky, here's a horse. I could tame him, and I can ride him, but if he doesn't go very fast, oh, he does. Okay, you know, I'll leave this horse be. So, just like that, look at me! I'm riding a horse around. Oh, he sucks so bad at jumping. But yeah, look at that. There is now another horse over here, and because I don't need that guy, because I've got this one, although actually, do I? No, I think I want this horse instead. So now, here's the fun thing that we can do. If you feel like being a little bit of a monster, and you know that from time to time, it's Minecraft, we all do. So let's just put that in there, and then cook up the iron. Because this horse is now the worst horse, we kill him to get our saddle back. It's just the easiest way. Horse was slain by Toycat. And now I can tame this guy instead to show you that, yes, we literally have tamed 2 horses in the span of our first few minutes. Nutty that you can say that. Now my move is to work out how to tame a pig with a stick, because, also, should I just put some beef in there just to make the most of it? Now I need to work out how I'm going to do that. No, my carrots. So I need to make a carrot on a stick if I'm actually going to get use out of the pig, and then I need to have a fishing rod. A fishing rod is sticks and string, and so where do you find string in a village? You're not going to like this answer, so, you know, we'll just skip ahead till I have the string. By sheer coincidence. Oh, look at this! I just found some string on the ground in my village. Oh, there's XP next to it. That's a really interesting fact right there. I wonder how that possibly happens. So funnily enough, I got really lucky with both string drops, 2 string each, which means I can make both the fishing rods I need, one for the overworld and one for the nether, which is very, very handy. I do think I'm going to want a wooden axe at some point, and also rather an axe of some form, and so I'm going to mine myself some stone. Pro tip, ever need some stone? The village has tons of it for you, and then we're going to make some sticks, make an axe, and then we can make the rest of this into sticks just fine to make our 2 fishing rods required, one of which will immediately become a carrot on a stick. So now if I craft a second saddle, and then chop myself some wood, because I know I'm going to need some at some point, I think that we have finished our chapter 1 in remarkable time. Wait, did I make the saddle? There it is. We finished chapter 1 in remarkable time, because look at this! I now have both of the early game saddleable mobs rideable in the first few minutes. I do need some more leather, which is why it's handy that there's actually a... Oh, God. This is not the mob I want riding me over a giant ravine gap. Also, he can't climb blocks, apparently. Oh, is this a him problem or a me problem? Oh, God. Okay, there we go. He can do it by himself, just not while being led. But so, fun fact, if you need to get some extra leather and you're not finding horse... Ooh, that's a new bug I haven't seen. But no! Well, I mean, the good news is I'll have a saddle again. But if you need to find some extra leather, you can come in here and... Oh, they didn't change the village drop. And so actually the easiest way to... Wow, look at that. It looks like wool on the inside there. So this is Vibrant Visuals, by the way. This is the default way to play Minecraft. It's not me doing something weird. I mean, it is me doing something weird, but whatever. But yeah, the fun thing about that is that, yeah, they haven't changed that drop, and so we can just have it. That's really, really nutty. It's a shame that my saddle is going to be such a nightmare to get back now. But I guess I'll think about that one later. For now, let's get some food, and let's consider that since we finished chapter 1, we just need to go to the Nether, which could probably actually start with a bit of a Nether brutal killing. Okay, so I've got good news for anyone who dislikes police brutality. If you're worried that you're going to see some of it in this video, don't you worry, because I just happened to find some iron and some poppies on the ground. What a crazy coincidence. This village sure is useful for lots of things. It's also been useful for getting my steak back together, and now if I want to go to the Nether, I just have to find myself a source of lava, which is usually quite easy to do. So let's place that crafting table down. In fact, let's place this hat on. It might save my life. Let's make a bucket, fill it up with some of this water, and now we are ready. Actually, should I take some of these hay bales too? I think that might be a handy idea. I've got myself a speedy horse, and I'm ready to have some unbridled fun. Let's go and find ourselves some lava, which is technically slightly easier at night because it glows a bit better. And so let's see how long it takes me. I always think to myself that looking for lava is easier than it is, but I do have to say having a horse makes the process so much easier because you can just jump up high if you're in a forest or something. Absolutely incredible. But I think I've just found glow lichen, which is very cool, don't get me wrong. Just does not help me with my plan. Okay, lava has been found. Look how bright it is, and now we can sleep. Hopefully not while losing our horse. And then we can go right through into the Nether. And hopefully we find a warped fungus biome, because I'm pretty sure that's what you need for the fungus on a stick if we want to do what we want to do. I'm going to do the classic. I would like to have a Nether portal, but I do not have a diamond pickaxe move. And that should result in... Oh, apparently what? Oh, I see what happened there. Well, the good news is, very, very close to my respawn point. The bad news is that I think I lost just about everything. But I have my fishing rod, and I can have a saddle again. All I need to do is take it off this guy right here. It'll make him harder to spot in the future, but that's worthwhile. So yeah, this is still the easiest way to get a saddle off if you don't have shears. And now I just have to make sure I don't die on my way into the Nether. But I'll be fine, I'm sure. I'll be fine. Oh, well, I mean, that's not a good sign for me, is it? Okay, here's a pro tip if you're trying to light your portal on fire. Use a crafting table because they can burn, but they'll never be destroyed. So just like that, I wasn't expecting it to go that quickly, actually. I'm now going to the Nether, and I'm excited about what I'm going to find there. Side note, but I should also point out, there is some erroneous generation here. It's actually mostly gone now. But there were some leaves floating in midair, so we found one issue, but it was of the last update, so we won't complain about it. Okay, into the Nether we go. What shall we find here? I don't know, although look at that. That looks like it's the right biome, just hanging out behind a wall for some reason. Wait, no, is there just some random warp fungus in this cave? I think there is. How does that happen? Okay, well, in either case, you can see that there's a regular tree over here. Nope, that's not a regular tree either. This is not a regular biome of any description, is it? But if we just get a single warp fungus, it doesn't matter if this is a real biome or not. So I'm just going to hope for that. Is there any? Yes, there is. This allows me, I'm actually really amazed by our luck today. I keep talking about, like, yeah, you have to get lucky with this, and then I'm just immediately getting lucky. Let's hope that streak doesn't end. You know, actually, I'm going to say the streak ended when I died to a lava placement issue. And so now I've got a Strider. I could immediately tame him. But again, my goal is to see what an impact it makes having this saddle in the early game. And so we're going to take him to a big lake of lava and see if that will help us lead him around in some way. So if there is a big lake of lava here, that would be great. If there's not, then I guess having a saddle here doesn't change my position at all, right? Yeah, there is not. So ultimately, some Nethers having a saddle versus not is literally no difference. But what I think is going to be the real revolution in this is now that I have a saddle, and it was so easy for me to get the warp fungus on a stick, in theory now I can imagine myself, even if I just have some leftover iron and leather, thinking, oh god, there's a giant pit of lava between me and the Nether Fortress. What if I use a Strider to go over there? I think that might be one of the most fun second-order effects of the next update, is not the direct changes they made with the Happy Ghast. I know that everyone thinks the Happy Ghast is going to be the best form of transport, but I think it just isn't quick enough in my opinion. And so I think the real game changer, at least for me and my style of play, the real game changer is actually going to be having better access to saddleable mobs for early game, both Overworld and Nether. But yeah, I do need to find a regular Ghast to kill, and they don't spawn in this biome. So I might still find use for this guy yet. But we'll have to keep looking. Yeah, the Nether is always a spooky place. I think that even this is the most chill of all the biomes, and I'm still thinking to myself constantly, like, I really hope I do not look at one of these Endermen. I'm specifically trying not to, but what if I do it and the game registers it and I haven't really done it? It's a real risky run at all times. But yeah, I don't know that we have access to any other biomes, even if we want them right now. Although this looks like something promising. Yeah, that's a way out, for sure. There we go, a lava pit. Okay, let's ride the lava. Okay, this is exactly what I was just talking about as being good. Let's ride the lava pit as a way to get myself out of this biome, which seemingly continues on forever via land, but I'm sure doesn't continue on forever via the ocean. So I guess we'll just land like this. Should have used this, really. That would have saved me a lot. Let's find a Strider, and let's see if he'll take me to a Ghast. So yeah, the basic gist of this series is one that I think is really important and that needs to be shared on the internet, and it's that I think that too much, like Minecraft feedback from the Minecraft quote-unquote community has started to be based on, the vibes of what they hear about, rather than the actual way that something will interact with the game. And I've always tried my best to, abstract my feedback into the game based on what I actually play in survival, but I think that it's really easy to hear about something, have an immediate thought, and let that guide you for everything. So that's a zombie pigman who has to be on a Strider. Why is the Strider below the surface there? I think I've found a bug, but I'm not going to complain about it in this case because it clearly seems to work out for me. Actually, I don't know that I need the Strider, but I hope I can bring him over here. Maybe if I lure him in with the right promise. There we go, I can. So now I just got to kill the zombie pigman, which is actually... I don't know if I've ever done this. It's useful to know you can. Oh, and he's already saddled. So yeah, in this case, having access to an early game saddle, no difference. Because if you get lucky enough... Oh my god, this is the riskiest I've ever been. Okay, I need to get this music disc though, so... Come on! No, if he gets too close, you can't bounce them back. Okay, so this is scary. Yes! But I didn't get the disc. Okay, I hear a second Ghast screaming to death. That's a big bummer. I feel like if I'd have predicted that, anticipated that better, I could have gotten the disc. Oh, I did get the disc! Sorry, what I meant to say is I'm a very skilled operative. I know what I'm doing ahead of time, and so it allows me to have moments like this. And so my Nether Saddle and Ghast journey has ended up successfully. Now I've just got to work out my way out. So I do need that saddle back. Oh, actually, I have this saddle. I can't bring myself to kill this guy. I've killed many things that didn't deserve it in this run, but I just can't do that to my boy, the Strider. So instead, I'm going to chop down a bunch of warp wood, and I'll get back to my portal that way. Okay, so it's always hard to find your way back through the Nether because it just doesn't follow any consistent logic. But I feel like I was down by this cave, and then I've just got to follow the cave for the right twists and turns along the way. That should actually be easy to do, I think. So once I've done that, I think we can say... Was it this way? No, it wasn't. I remember I followed a tree. I saw trees, and so I went where the trees were. Was it this way? It's believable that it was, but I don't remember a cave having all these vines in it. Yeah, I might be stranded here forever. That's okay. Sometimes it's nice to spend some time alone with your Nether thoughts. Okay, here is my clever advice if you ever find yourself lost in the Nether, near your portal, but not quite there. And my really solid advice for finding your way home is kill yourself. Seriously, sounds a little rude, but the truth is, honestly, being alive is overrated, and it's a waste of hunger anyway. So get really close to death, make sure that you don't actually die in a fire somewhere, and then once you die, you know exactly where you respawn, you know where your portal is, and I'll know exactly how to get back where I was, hopefully, and I'll just make note of it using leaf litter. Easy. So now I've just written my own coordinates in chat. I just have to find where I was. Man, this is such an intense cave. How did I ever find my way out of here? But okay, I've got the other problem now, and it's an even worse problem on this end because I have got 5 minutes to get my stuff back before it despawns. So, yeah, might have substituted one of my problems for a worse problem here. But actually, no, I remember this. I came through here, and so I actually ended up here, not down there. That's where my mistake came in. See, these are the sorts of things you need to know, and oh dear God. The good news is, I'm going to be able to test my kill yourself theory again. Because the game is very kindly killing me for myself. So do I have everything I need? Let's place a block here. And let's test that. So, I think I have everything that I need. Pickaxe. No, I need a saddle. No, I've got a saddle. Yeah, I think, therefore, let's just get out of here. Hopefully in one piece. And if not in one piece, then, you know, we will be able to find our way back quicker. So, yeah, I think that getting yourself lost is like such a funny Nether problem that I've just done so many times that I feel like it doesn't stress me anymore. But it can be, I think being lost is like one of the like most default human stresses for like very good reason too, I think. Oh, so up here. Yeah, there was no way I was ever finding this. Knowing it is there, I still barely found it. And then I would just end up in this cave and I'd have no clue. But yeah, I think in Minecraft you can never truly be lost because you always have a way back home. Obviously in hardcore that changes and, you know, so should you. But speaking of changing, we're entering Chapter 3. Oh, the horse didn't move very much at all. Perfect. Let's get back on him. Wait, no, I took off his saddle? Oh, no, oh, this is a new horse. That's why. Okay. Well, let's make sure that we don't get confused with this horse again. Just make that nice and easy. And then let's go find our guy. Does anyone remember what he looks like? Is that him? Is he saddled? He doesn't look very saddled to me. This is my horse. He doesn't have a saddle anymore. Damn. Well, I guess we get to test one more time, because I'm looking for just one more mob to saddle. Again, if we count the horse variants as one mob, there are 4 mobs that you can saddle in Minecraft. I've gotten 3 of them. I just need the camel, which is, you know, to be fair, again, on some seeds is going to be your first mob, but for most players, it's not that easy. So that's iron. I don't have a furnace, but I could easily get one, and then I can just get some leather. I don't know that it's actually worth doing at this junction, although we might be going a while for a saddle, so, you know, let's go for it. No, actually, I've decided, while I'm looking for a desert, which I might have just found, it's a beach. Actually, I think it'd be fun to go to the desert with kind of base survival game gear, but I have none of the ingredients required for a camel saddle. So we can actually kind of test it again from scratch. And so I'm arguing that because I really don't want to go through the hassle of making a saddle just to go there. Because if I see a savanna biome already, I'm probably right next to a desert biome. I am finally here. Oh my god, thank you, Minecraft. This took some real time to get to, and it's kind of cool because I think this is one of the first deserts I've been to in a brand new world since the desert update. Again, the last drop. We're talking about the next one, but I haven't really enjoyed a full desert since the last one, because most of my deserts were loaded up, prior to the summer drop. But yeah, I can use this as an opportunity to get some sugarcane. Which could theoretically be part of a future craftable name tag if they went that way. And instead, I can use this as an opportunity to say, you know what? Since we didn't bring a horse here, yeah, I know there are going to be some people that say to themselves, you know what? The naysayers in the comments are going to say, Toycat, why did you use so many horse puns in this video? It was the worst part. But I know my horse puns were horsome. And I will rein in the puns, but not because I don't want to use any more of them. Anyway, so now I'm going to be desperately looking for a camel, and this will be my first camel outside of Superflat that I've actually found in a desert and not a desert village. So I'm kind of excited for that. I do have to say, I don't know how I'm going to find iron or leather here, but those are kind of issues I'm putting off for the future. So yeah, I think that actually seeing what it's like to saddle a camel now should be the real difference maker. Because it could be that finding leather is actually not that easy. I mean, I'm not finding a camel, so how am I going to find leather? I'm not going to find a desert cow, am I, actually? I should check that. Minecraft Wiki Desert. The desert is an expansive arid biome, and it has, yeah, rabbits and camels. So I could kill enough rabbits, and if I kill... You don't even get leather when you kill a camel. So I'd have to kill a ton of rabbits. Oh, blacksmith chest. Come on, blacksmith chest. Do me well. Ooh, a bundle. Some iron. Okay, so iron is sorted. Weirdly, I am now just missing leather. And we get the real indication. Oh, so wow, the diamond, we could use that for the jukebox. Part 4 is going to be a lot easier. But part 3 is going to be the struggle. So, yeah, do you remember when I said that I was looking forward to finding my first camel, not in a village? That's not panning out so far, although this guy is a baby. Where do we... Also, what was that noise? Was that a cat dying? I cannot imagine... Oh, no, it was a rabbit dying by a cat. Oh, actually, this is perfect. I need just 2 leather, and so I just need Minecraft to give me 6 more rabbit hides. And because cats kill rabbits, apparently, that might be easier than I think. So yeah, still very messy. Still probably easier to just find a desert temple if you happen to have one nearby. But if you don't, then I guess this works. Do they have leather workers in these villages? I should look around maybe, see what I find. Oh, this is the leather worker right here. But literally they have no chests and so no opportunities for leather. Therefore, if you want leather, you need to kill 12 rabbits, or have a cat kill 12 rabbits, or you need to go and find a desert temple. So yeah, the camel is not an easy one to get. Weirdly, I think even though I've just been to the Nether and back, I think this is the hardest chapter of the video. I don't know what the easiest thing for me to do is, besides just hope that we find... Oh, wait, actually, no. I guess we can just desperately hope that we'll find a desert temple. They're not uncommon, I guess. So let's go. Let's see how long that takes. Actually, you know what? Okay. This seems very crazy. Oh, cute! The baby cat did it. This seems crazy, but given how many rabbits are just outside this village, I think that while looking for the desert temple, I might actually find enough leather just in the wild, which is wild, but might be true. Oh yeah, just look at them. They're everywhere. They blend in so well. But I have my first new piece of leather, meaning I just need to kill 4 rabbits and then find an adult camel. Just in case we aren't lucky enough to find a camel in this desert, which, you know, we should be able to. We're going to pick up a bunch of these cacti to bring home to grow up the baby we have already. So, yeah, funnily enough, I think looking for leather in a... Oh, there we go. Looking for leather in a desert is one of those activities that would be much easier if we had a mob. You know, something like a camel might be good in this situation. But it is now much more doable than just saying, yep, go find a dungeon. Those are unfindable, at least in vanilla Minecraft. You know, that basically previously they said, if you want to use this, if you want to use this camel you've just found, go on chunk base or go fishing for 3 hours. And I like that the new solution is not that. But it's still a little bit messy. I'm leaving a lot of rabbit orphans around the desert right now. And I want to tell you I feel bad. I really do want to tell you that. But, you know, I did promise I wouldn't lie. But maybe I was lying when I said that, you know? Who's to say? So, I have really been here for a while. I don't see any sign of a desert temple. And I've now got 2 more rabbit leather, which means I'm 100% sure the way this is going to... Oh, no, maybe not, actually. Which means even though rabbits don't drop leather all the time, and so it's a real pain to keep killing them, we're gonna have a whole feast of rabbit meat later. Even though they don't drop it that often, they do spawn frequently enough here that I think we're gonna have it. So this is my rabbit leather. I'm still at 2. I've got a rabbit foot as well, which actually, if you think about it, is kind of cool gameplay. Like, the rabbit foot is such a niche item that even when you want a jump boost potion, you don't really ever go for it. And so weirdly, even though we removed rabbit hide from the bundle recipe, we've effectively added it back into the camel saddle recipe. Because oh wow, yeah, look at that. Assuming, hey, we did it! No, we didn't, that's free? I swore I just had another rabbit hide. Was it another rabbit foot? Yeah, it is. Wow. But yeah, let's, assuming that you don't get lucky of your deserts and find a temple, which is, you know, again, like a common structure, then you'll have to go on a big rabbit hunt. And it's not that disastrous because you get 1 saddle between 2 people, so you're both working it at the same time. And now, just like this, I finally got the ingredients required, which is, even then, it's kind of cheating because I came in with 1 lever, but it took this many minutes for me to find, you know, to find one of these. But now I have my camel saddle. I guess the real lesson that we've learned here is that if you're in the Nether and you lose your saddle, you can't just tell yourself, I'll find another one. They are still valuable unless you have a decent supply of both leather and iron, which in the mid-game you do, don't get me wrong. But in the early game, you don't necessarily. So I'm just going to feed this guy all of the cactus, and perfect. Then we're going to sit on him. He's already tamed. And let's put our saddle on, and Chapter 3 is complete. The camel is definitely the worst mob I've ridden today. But I think that it's most fun with 2 players. It's kind of like riding around a big Goliath or something. I think it's the most niche of all of the mobs I've ridden today. Maybe actually not. I think he's slightly better than the pig with the saddle, but I like the strider and the horse a lot more. This is just a fun little thing since we're here. So yeah, now I think you know, as much as I want the camel to be great, I want to love him. But I don't know that I ever do. So what we're going to do now is we're going to craft ourselves, because we have 1 mission left, you might recall. I'm going to craft myself the jukebox, and that means we can finally listen to the earliest game music disc in Minecraft. It would have been a whole pain to get any other disc. You know, I'd have had to risk my life with creepers and skeletons. But instead, I can end this video as my party self. Let's put on my party hat. I can end this video in my party self, and I can say... Yeah, isn't this nice? Look at me. I did it. 51 minutes if you care. No, 50 minutes from the start to the end. 3 Minecraft days. But that is so much less than it would have taken before. If you weren't using a preset seed of some form, and to be fair, technically, we do use set seeds from the Minecraft seed picker. This one was sunflowers. But if you didn't know well about a seed, you could be on this for a really long time just looking for the saddles, let alone taming the mobs and using them and getting yourself a disc. But I've gotten it, and now I can enjoy the newest vibes in Minecraft, because this is the Summer Drop's most interesting change that will lead to the most unique gameplay, in my opinion. I think that the Happy Ghast is good, but I think that this is actually a better change after playing around with it. What do you think, though? Do you think that making the early game mobs easier to get is a good thing? Let me know, because for now, I hope you all enjoyed this video, and I'll see you in the next one. Goodbye.